Hi everybody. Well, we're still here in Cannes, or not quite. We're actually in Brighton, but we've got two even more amazing guests today. We've got with me two young ladies, Gigi Rice and Elle Bellwood.
Hello.
And they are the winners not only of the UK's top PR Young People's Agency Award, but also the Global Cannes Lions Young PR Lion of the Year for this year.
Twister.
It is a tongue twister. Anyway, they're jolly famous, and they're going to be even more famous. Gigi Rice and Elle Bellwood. But just tell us very quickly, tell us the story about how you won, because you had to win twice, didn't you? You had to win first the UK competition, then the global competition, and you had no agency, no background, not much money, and how did you do it?
Winged it.
We
just
winged it.
had to wing it, with two separate kind of briefs and two separate ideas. We, in our first one, so in winning the UK, there definitely was an element of just like blind luck that we hit upon the right idea, but we really prepped for the second one because we were at Hope and Glory and they so generously gave us time each week. They gave us practice briefs. We had a schedule written out, so we didn't creatively panic. Which really helped.
We entered the UK heat to get hired. We were freelancers, we had no money, no work coming in, so we entered the UK Cannes brief just to get some exposure and hopefully be shortlisted, and maybe we can go to agencies and be like, we've been shortlisted. Ended up winning it. And then we were very swiftly hired by Hope and Glory afterwards. So we completely fulfilled all of our dreams and wishes, and then we went to the global one. Kind of one of those things we were like, oh god, we have to do that now.
But then we realised after I think winning the UK one that we could do it and we had a chance, and so we went fully eyes on the prize, gold or die. Completely in on it, which
I think we really, even though it was a massive shock to win, I feel like we knew we were going to win. We almost had that. I did. Something in me.
Julian threw me off. The day before we practiced our kind of interview questions, Julian, who knew we had one, threw me so far off. I messaged people afterwards going, bad vibes, we're out.
Oh, no.
You disguised it very well.
But I could do that because I knew your winners anyway. Because you got just tell us for the camera about the one you did for the UK for Chester Zoo, which is the anniversary of the zoo?
Yes, it was their 90th anniversary this summer, and they wanted a creative idea that was going to pull in a bit more money because COVID had hit them and get national widespread coverage, and we had budget of £1,000, which is always an excellent number to work with.
Better than nothing.
And we realised they came out with a gin last year. They have a pub on site, and we found a fact that said beer is fertilised traditionally with animal manure. So we thought, why not use the zoos? And elephants would be pretty reliable to produce that much. So that led us to Get Trunk, which is a beer fertilised with elephant's wee.
And most people, they either pull a face which is like, ugh, or wow. And that, do you know what, that's all we want, because it's a talking point and that's what gets coverage. So, I feel definitely the idea ticked all the boxes for that. They wanted over 300 pieces of coverage in the brief, which is, we were like, how the hell are we going to do that? But nothing gets people talking more than we.
So you often you started, but then you're going to enter the global competition, and that's a little bit more serious, or not? So what was the challenge for that? Cure the entire world of climate change, something like that?
Close. It was this charity called One Young World, and they have a global forum of young leaders who believe in things. And the challenge was that policymakers, governments, businesses, they listen but they never act. So how do we show that these young people are the key actors in fighting climate change? How do we get decision makers and CEOs to actually act on what young people are saying? Which was quite
complicated. Really complicated, really niche. So we took the niche approach. I think what the other teams did, they tried to do something really big, but we specifically went for the decision makers. And researching them, we just noticed every single picture we saw, they were all wearing really, really big watches. So we're like, that's something just a bit interesting. And then we did some more research and found out that time management is one of their biggest problems. So we were like, and also the world is running out of time. So we kind of linked all of them together and came up with a campaign called Time for Action, which is, better explaining.
Yeah, so we made
Explain to me.
17 kind of limited edition timepieces with Patek Philippe. Hypothetically, though if they're watching this, get in touch. And it was based off 17 of the One Young World leaders, but the watch could not be bought for money. It could only be bought for a tangible commitment to fighting climate change. And so making them the most exclusive watches in the world that money couldn't buy, which we thought would really appeal to the decision makers and audiences to have one of these.
And it worked?
It worked.
And it worked.
Looks like it worked.
Yeah.
So tell me, just as we kind of wrap up, the SCA, School of Communication Arts that you went to in Brixton, that you
Yes.
kind of met at, that's where you were when you were freelancing, I think, if I've got that right. It's really an advertising school, isn't
Yeah.
it? I mean, it's creative advertising school. So how did you go there if you wanted to be in PR, or did you
Yeah.
So-
not, or how does it work? What's your view?
So I think we both entered it thinking we wanted to go into advertising, and to be fair, advertising and PR, the lines are absolutely blurring. Like, it's very similar, and we were just really lucky that obviously Grayling and Taylor Herring, two amazing agencies, were sponsors of the school, so they would come in and give us PR briefs. And the first time me and Gigi ever worked together was for Taylor Herring, and we just kind of came up with an idea that was really fun, like straight away, and we were bouncing ideas off each other, and it just worked. And we were kind of like, this is way more interesting. Thinking of, it was a new product development we came up with, which we're kind of, that's what we kind of do, we're good at that
Yeah.
stuff. And yeah, we just feel like this is so much more fun than like, oh, what's the strap line?
Yeah, what are we
Or
going to
like-
write about Coke? A cola.
Coca-Cola.
To be clear. Yeah, which was really interesting. I think we got really lucky that the PR industry have been so supportive to us, and
Yeah.
like Nathan Kemp from Grayling, we would take our portfolio to him. He would give us kind of critiques on it and get us into that mode of PR thinking, as other agencies have done throughout the year, and other people that have stepped up and helped us out, kind of thinking, switching from that advertising mode to PR creative mode. So we owe that to the industry, really.
Yeah, everyone's been so kind and so lovely that we've met. There's not been one person that hasn't
helped us.
hasn't tried to help us in some sort of way.
Fabulous. And now you've fallen on your feet and you've got the job, is that correct?
Yes.
Tell us
Yes.
who with and what they're like.
So we're with Hope and Glory, who are so lovely. It's wonderful to be there. We've got a couple of like home accounts, and then we bounce between kind of new business, which means it's so good. It never gets old.
No.
You never get too comfortable, and it moves fast, which we like
Yeah.
in PR.
Yeah.
And we go at 100 miles an hour in everything we do. So that's been really wonderful having that pace as well.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations.
Thank
the
you so much.
World champions, at least for a year. Well done. And you achieved your
you.
objective. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Great to meet you. Gigi Rice and Elle Bellwood. Elle and Gigi.